Hi, I'm Dina DeMarco with Human People Solutions. I oversee our professional search division. So I think 2025 was a very interesting year. What we saw was really a softening of the labor market, and that ultimately resulted in unique candidate and employer behavior. And I think we're going to continue to see that pull forward into 2026, at least the first half of 2026. And what that means from a talent perspective is recruitment takes longer. Employers are being more selective about who they're hiring, so you can expect to see more interviews. Candidates are not actively applying to positions at the rate that they used to, and so that means there's more time digging and finding good talent. So I think we can expect to see an extended timeline when it comes to recruitment, and I think we'll still see candidates job hugging for a while, and hopefully something shakes up in the second half of 2026. But that's where I see kind of the first 6 months shaking out. In terms of changes for TA, obviously everybody's going to say technology and AI, and I think we are going to continue to see organizations either embrace it or miss the boat on it. I think what we will also see is a lot of organizations make missteps with AI and how it is that they're using it. So I can see this year being a year where people lean into it and we learn a lot of difficult lessons. So I think figuring out how to appropriately use AI technology in recruitment is going to be one of the big things for 2026. Yeah, so I think when we're thinking about private equity backed companies, portfolio companies, especially those in the lower middle market, recruitment is going to become more and more difficult for them from a resource and technology perspective. As large organizations are able to start to layer in additional technologies like AI, these smaller businesses may not have the budget to bring those in. And so I think that we're going to find that recruitment for small to mid-sized businesses may become more challenging until they are at the phase where they can actually start to build out a robust recruitment infrastructure, or they have a really good partner to help them execute on searches. So what I love about what we do here at Human is our recruitment solutions are designed specifically for small to mid-sized businesses, those that are on a fast track to growth, specifically within the private equity part of our business. What we do is we bring best practices and resources and technology that Fortune 500 companies have. We make those accessible to small and mid-sized businesses. So, I think there are a lot of different use cases for AI in the talent arena. So, obviously, let's get all of the administrative part of recruitment taken off of a recruiter's plate. So, how can we, streamline things like note taking, scheduling interviews, etc. So, there's this whole AI use case around the administrative part of recruiting. I think AI sourcing and finding and engaging candidates is going to be something that the platforms I've looked at are okay. They can be better. So I'd love to continue to see that develop. And really, what that allows recruiters to do is identify a candidate profile and reach out to candidates more succinctly and ultimately get more interest in results from those outreaches. So I think there's an opportunity there. There is also really using AI to lean into assessments and to understand looking at previous candidate success, people who have thrived in roles, and how can we assess those candidates in conjunction with people that we're interviewing. So understanding how to use technology to figure out, is this a potential high performer, and really understanding what your ideal candidate profile looks like. So I think those are all different areas where AI can plug in. What I don't think that AI is going to replace recruitment in its entirety. I think some positions may be fully able to have, or some organizations may be able to get away with a full AI recruitment model. It's really going to depend on what that organization is and the candidate profile and the types of roles that they are typically filling. But organizations where there is a limited talent pool and there are candidate constraints, I think they can use AI to be more efficient and more effective and have more candidate outreach. But I believe the recruiter role becomes more critical at that point because it's about developing a relationship and selling the organization. When I think of candidate experience, I think of really two things. I think of speed and quality of interaction. So with technology available, we should be able to engage candidates much more quickly than we have historically. You know, if you think of the way it was 3 years ago, a candidate might apply for a role, and then you would have to wait for a recruiter to go through their resume and schedule a call, and that could be, 3 or 4 days later. I think with technology, what we can do is we should be able to get qualified candidates on the phone with a recruiter for a meaningful conversation the next day. So I think that what we're going to see is increased speed in our conversation with candidates and initial outreaches. And I would like us to have more quality interactions with candidates and more meaningful conversations with them. So, when I look at the PE industry, what we know about private equity firms is that they have playbooks for everything. But what historically has been overlooked is a talent acquisition playbook. Like, yes, there may be an HR playbook, but there's not necessarily a talent acquisition playbook. And so I think that by partnering with an organization like Hueman, private equity firms have the opportunity to bring great recruitment solutions to their portfolio companies at highly affordable rates with meaningful outcomes. So this past year, we've started to work with some of our PE firms and portfolio companies in really different ways. We have subscription recruitment models available. We have project recruitment. We actually recently worked with an organization that was centralizing their shared services, and we needed to quickly staff up 40 accounting and finance individuals in one particular market. So working with our partners more closely to fill one-off needs, also build out a scalable recruitment infrastructure, and then we're also available there for surge hiring or project hiring. I love that question. So to me, when I think of being a good partner, ultimately what I want to do is make sure that our partners have the talent acquisition solution that is right for them. So with recruitment, there is no one size fits all. And I don't want to come in and just fill your needs today. Yes, we can help with that. But what I want to do is make sure that all of our partners have a clear roadmap and path forward to a scalable and high performing talent acquisition function. Yes, expectations for 2026 in 3 words. I think 2026 will be a year of trial and error when it comes to technology. So trial and error. Can we say that? Could those be my 3 words?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I love
Yeah.
that.
I'm
Awesome.
seeing a lot of people get it right, but I'm seeing a lot of people get it wrong. So I think trial and error 2026. By 2027, let's all know what works, how it works, and let's get it going at that point. So I don't know if this is a prediction, but this is something that I am seeing more and more of, is that there's becoming actually, this is my prediction right here. We are going to see more of a separation between historical human resources and talent acquisition. I am seeing talent acquisition shift from a historically human resources function, and now in a lot of organizations, it is more sales and operations focused, and it's ran as a sales business with a high focus on operations. So I think we may continue to see that shift where talent acquisition is no longer siloed within HR and it kind of bleeds out to become its own function.